Welcome to another video. My name is Hans. Remember, I'm simply a dude on the internet. I don't give financial advice. You're responsible for your own decisions. So let's jump right into today's video. So a few things we're going to cover is China is changing their stance on their zero cerveza sickness story. I don't know if we still get flagged for saying this word, but either way, I'll just be on the side of caution with that. We're going to look at Jim Cramer, a well-renowned stock picker on the mainstream, right? There's actually this interesting reverse Cramer ETF, this Twitter handle, and it literally does the opposite of what Jim Cramer does, and memes him a little bit. And we'll go through some of these things because Jim Cramer tends to be terribly wrong. He said Bear Stearns was a massive buy opportunity. He also, in 2012, said this HPE, to dump HPE stock, and it ripped 110% by 6 months. In 2012, he set a sell order for Netflix, and before it moved up like 180% within the same 6 months. Called on Best Buy on November 2012. Cramer voiced an exit notice on Best Buy, so selling within 6 months of the call. Best Buy was up more than 120%. Coles Corp, Cramer set a buy rating, and within 6 months, Cramer shares were trading 40% lower. Corvo, Cramer set a buy rating on 7 April 2015, and it crashed. And Bear Stearns also collapsed in 2008, and he was bullish on it, right? We'll look at some of the charts. BTC hanging on by a thread. This is the daily chart. We still have some upside on the RSI. We'll quickly take a look at the stock market, and is this the weekly? It's the daily. Okay, cool. A little bit more red in the market. So let's get right into it. So China eases control gives eases control. So they want to ease a bit on some of the strict protocols that they have going on. There has been large protests after a few people passed away in a fire where they were locked into their apartments, and large protests all around China. So it seems like they're starting to ease on the zero policy, which is good for the global markets, and this could sign a little bit of a risk on environment. Could, as manufacturing will start heading higher in China, right? So we don't know yet. I think the announcement is tomorrow, so we'll see how the markets react to that news. It's pretty big, as we all know. China is a major player, right? So Jim Cramer urges investors to sell their cryptocurrency. People tend to look at him, or the contrarians like using Jim Cramer because he's always wrong. You can see the inverse Cramer ETF, Cramer Tracker, at Cramer Tracker on Twitter. You can see great news for crypto. Jim Cramer investors to exit crypto. It's never too late to sell. He added that he expects more marginal names, including XRP, Dogecoin, Cardano, and Polygon, to fall much further, possibly going to zero. Should we look at those charts quickly? I don't like looking at XRP because I don't think it's going to perform really well. It has failed to make new all-time highs against Bitcoin. But I mean, it's one of the few coins that have actually held their June bottoms, right? So this is quite powerful for it. Dogecoin, I mean Dogecoin already rallied like 100% in this bear market, so coming off beautifully inside of its reload zone. This is where you should have been interested, right? There's still a little bit more room to go on the RSI. And what's the other one? Cardano. ADA has suffered a little bit during this bear market. On a continuous downtrend, we have a little W here and a little fake out. Still a little bit more room on the RSI to go. And then Matic, of course. Matic has been performing really well. Still off its lows back in June. This is a little bit overvalued up here. Still more room, a lot more room on the RSI. So, are we going to get a little bit of a rally? Let's look at the Bitcoin dominance to see what the altcoins are doing. We have bullish divergences down here on the RSI. You can see price going lower, yet the RSI is going higher. So this just means that the altcoins might suffer a little bit versus Bitcoin. As Bitcoin gains dominance, the altcoins, people tend to flee out of the altcoins. So this could mean a major move in either direction for Bitcoin. It's not quite sure which way it might go. But this is a AB equals CD. So we have a measured move all the way to 42 if this plays out. And this is quite bullish structure to the upside, right? So this is pretty much a double bottom or a higher low, which is also bullish. This is a reversal signal. So the Bitcoin dominance, we should have started with the S&P, and we can see how beautifully it's just rejected. Now, I've had this lines up here because this is what we wanted to see if we break out. But this has unfortunately not happened. We have rejected from this downtrend again for the fourth time. 1, 2, 3, 4. A little bit toppy up here on the RSI as well. So could this be the last leg and the final capitulation? Let's hope we hold the lows to make a double bottom, or even if we come and make a higher low, that would be good to see. But I mean that there's still a lot of time for the Fed to raise rates, and the market is showing a lot of mixed signals, so we'll have to take a look at it closely. But either way, they still need to raise a lot if they want to get above the 7% inflation and put rates higher than 7%, or if the 2-year yield stops the hiking, the market tends to dump as well into a Fed pivot, right? We've talked about all of those different scenarios. But most analysts are expecting that the pivot might only happen next year by the end or the middle of next year, right? The dollar rallied up a little bit, but we are finding resistance where we've previously double bottomed. I mean, the RSI is very low. There's bullish divergences down here. Many are expecting us to go all the way up to 119. This could have been a good retrace for it to have more room to the upside. And we've looked at the weekly. There's lots of divergences here. Quite an aggressive divergence. We can see that the RSI is at 41 or bottomed out at 41. The price is still higher than we were back here, and it's going down like aggressively. This is massive bullish divergence. Price going higher, yet the RSI is going lower. This is hidden bullish divergence, which is even more powerful. So there is a lot of room to the upside. So I mean, that would spell disaster for pretty much everything, for the Great British Pound, for the Euro, for crypto, and everything else, right? So the RSI is pretty high here. This is the Euro versus the US dollar. I mean, if we, this is the Wyckoff check, so for it to come down and find support on this level, that would be very, very healthy. But there's still, I think the CPI numbers are today. Let's look at Forest Factory calendar. This shows the important dates coming up. We have, okay, today's Tuesday, so nothing. Let's see, core PPI, high impact expected. So we have inflation announcement at the end of this week, which we are going to have to keep our eyes on, because this might just dump the market if inflation is still high, right? So we've looked at the dollar, the Dow Jones. I mean, that's not really. Let's see if the VIX has turned around. When the VIX is this low, there's lots of confidence in the market, so investors are willing to speculate. But as this spikes to the upside, and if it spikes above 45, that tends to be a massive sell-off, lots of volatility, and these tend to signal bottoms in the market. Ethereum, I still just moving along, nothing much. It's very slow in the market. We're pretty much all just waiting for news, right? This is technically the Wyckoff level that we're finding resistance at. Let's see what the Hex ecosystem is doing. I don't have the chart up. Hex tools. So we got a bit of resistance at 3 cents. We are currently below it. There's still upside on the RSI. Let's just see where we are on the Fibonacci. We are just above 50%. We can come as low as the 61.8 and it would still be bullish, or even the 78.6 level, but I would like the indicators to get a bit oversold. But this just gives us more room to go to the upside, because we're still consolidating above the highs. Maybe we should put a trend line up here. So there's a relatively strong support level. See what Hedron is doing, sitting below the 2K area. I mean, this is technically where value is at for this coin. It doesn't mean it can't go lower. But all of these are just lower highs, right? And when the market is smiling at you, you know it wants to take your money. But the stochastic RSI is pretty high. The RSI is just sitting on its floor. Do we have divergences here? Still going lower. So no divergences on the volume. Let's see what ICOSA is doing. So there's not much to cover in the market. It's pretty boring. But we are just trying to get through this bear market as positively as possible, right? So the RSI also just lower highs. The stochastic's pretty high. Nothing spectacular there. So Zapper.fi actually listed us on their platform. I tweeted about this a while ago. Let's see where. Or we can just go to my. I retweeted this. So you know what time it is. The newest passive protocol integrations are now on the Zapper dashboard, with tons of in-depth information to explore. Let's take a look at the changes. First up, we have a Hex. Let's open that tab and see what it's all about. We have Hex, a protocol which acts as a certificate of deposit on the blockchain. Lock up your Hex and get paid interest for the longer you're staked. Users can view all the stats, including APY, top holders, and top value locked. Do a few swaps on their platform. They still haven't released a token. Now, this is not financial advice. Just do a few of your dollar cost averages on this exchange. So don't try and farm an airdrop. Just do your normal dollar cost averages. So it's still not listed here as a swap. Let's see if we can paste the contract address of Hex inside of it and see if we can find it there. So still not coming up. There's the owners tab. We can see the OA address is here. This is the Godwell 666D. How do you swap on it? Let's just go back to the first page. Holdings. Explore. So I thought they might have added the asset so we can swap it, but it does not seem like they have, which is weird. It's listed on their exchange, but you can't swap it. Hex. Okay, so it brings up this page. So no swap feature as of yet, but hopefully they add it soon, so we can qualify for an airdrop. Not added yet. It's a little bit disappointing. Either way. So there's no other, except if you're gonna swap for something else. Maybe if you're buying some ETH with USDC, just do a few swaps here so you do qualify for the airdrop. Nothing is confirmed yet. Right, not financial advice, but it's always just worth working with these things. Now, Zapper.fi has been here for quite a long while, and I have used it in the past. So, okay, let's see what you guys are saying on the YouTubes. Greetings, boss. What's up, UFO to go? Teach us liquidity providing. Is it interesting? It is interesting. It depends on which one you want to see. I'm not quite sure how I'll show you, because you need a wallet connected, right? Call it the donut illness. What's up, Finn Bear? Richard Hart mentioned he doesn't see the 10k BTC wick until the Fed pivot now. I swear he watches my YouTube videos. So, but yeah, crispy bacon, donuts and bacon, yeah. Just scored a 1.29 t-shirt HSI on Okosa for $280. Damn, bro. I've given up looking at those, but I should get involved there. There are some cheap t-shirts going on Okosa auction presently. One is a 5 t-shirt HSI with a current bid of 984. And the 3x multiplier ending in 1.5 hours. So I think they're going a little bit cheaper because the ARB price of the Icosa is so low, right? And people are losing a little bit of interest as well. And this is exactly the time where you should be interested in these things. As people start doing other things, right? I should probably pull it up and see what's going on there. What's the address again? .pro? Let me log in there so we can take a look at what's going on there. I'll just use an empty wallet. So I saw today that those that had a 1B share, like a WhatsApp, finally reached 1K ICOSA yield. So that is like, I think, 100% right now. Okay, cool. Let's see what some of these auctions are doing. Hopefully they load, because let's quickly look at ICOSA versus Hex. There are plenty of people silently watching, yeah. If there is an arbitrage opportunity, people will take it, right? A 555 stake here. How many? Oh, so there's only one page going right now. $200,000. You said there was a 5T share one. This is nice, right? 650,000 Hex for 6 billion Hedron. Let's put up the Hedron price over here on Nomics. $6.8 billion. What's that? 11K. And let's see how much 650 Hex is going for. So I'm pretty sure people have nice spreadsheets that this. So that's a major discount, like a $7,000 discount for that stake going right there. But obviously it's locked up. I mean, there's more Hedron mintable. Oh, it's only 7 million. Okay. No, I read it wrong. So that guy is winning a nice auction right there in a few minutes. Let me just chat the adult content. Before they start spamming. So I don't have much for you guys today. This has been 23 minutes. Please click the like button and subscribe. Yeah, we'll check out tomorrow if the China news has any effect. Jim Cramer tells us to sell, so this is quite bullish because he's always wrong. The altcoins suffering a little bit today, right? Hex just moving along. I mean, can you see the 5T shares? Here. So this one here, 36,000 Hex for 510 million Hedron. Is that 500,000 Hedron? That's the 500 million Hedron, excuse me. 964, and that's 35,000 hex. So someone just probably came in and started bidding on it. 36,000 hex. So like $100 discount on it, but it has a 3x multiplier on it, so this might head up a little bit more as it has the bonus, right? Are there any other charts you guys would like me to take a look at? If you guys don't know yet, it seems like, oh, am I spelling it wrong? So there's been a little bit of a pulse chain update, right? Devs are working on a bug found in ETH 2.0, whose dev team is also aware of it and working on it. And once they say they find a, this was first tweeted by, what was the other BSC bug that I've seen recently? How can I expect these claims with pots into it? So Eric Wall fudding again. Let's see if there was any no replies there. I think this was one of the Power City guys. Is the stake shares the same as T shares on the auction? Is the stake shares the same as the T shares on the auctions? I'm not quite sure what you mean, but these T shares, obviously, they're, yeah, I don't know what you mean, dude. Can you please clarify what you mean? V3 was seen in Poly. Finbear, dude, what are you talking about? Uniswap V3 was seen in Poly? Is that Uniswap V3? I probably can show you how to set V3 limit orders here. So this is Uniswap V3. If you wanted to set a buy order at, let's say, 2.5 cents, this is the minimum price. You'll see these things adjusting. And if you just simply want a limit order now, it's going to place a buy order or a buy wall at 2.5. This pool is initialized because this must be initialized because you can add liquidity to initialize. Select starting price for the pool. Why is it doing this? Say you want to put in 10k. I have no idea what this error message is. Okay, let's see if how it works. Say you want to put in 10k. This is a limit order. We just change the pricing so we can see dollar values. 2.5 and 2.5. Now I'm just going to press 1 plus because you can't set. it at the same price. It has to have a starting price. Now when the price moves through that range, your USDC order will get filled with Hex, right? That is how you set a buy order. Now this is how, if you want to buy, but you have to remove this liquidity position after the price is lower than 2.5. So your full position will now, that 10k USDC will now be in Hex, right? Now if you want to sell, let's say you want to sell all of your Hex at 5 or at 4 cents, seeing as we must click that. 4 cents plus 1. Now there's going to be a limit order at 4 cents. You can then sell your 10,000 Hex. Say you have 10,000 Hex, that's like 200, let's make it a bit more. 100,000 Hex at 4 cents. This will now place that limit order at 4 cents. When the market moves past that, you need to come in and remove this liquidity position to get, now this 100,000 Hex will turn into 2,800 USDC as soon as the market moves past your limit order, which is sitting at 4 cents. Then you need to remove it. That's how you set limit orders, right? Now you can also in V3 set a range. Let's say where we are trading at right now. You can, from 3 cents, or where we're trading at 2.8 cents. So let's say you want to have the limit order between 2.5 and 3.5 cents. This will show you how much you need to have of each side of the liquidity. You can see it's kind of a range that it's in now. So every time the market trades in this area, you will earn, you can change this to 1% as well. So you'll earn 1% of the fees instead of less, and now it's changed again. So between 2.5, and now it gives me this error message, which I'm not quite sure what it's all about. So you can either set a limit order, a quasi limit order, or you can have the market, in this case, between 2.4 cents and 4.6 cents. Every time the market trades between there, you will earn fees. When the market moves below 2.4, your full position will be inside of Hex, and if the market moves above 4.6, it will be completely in USDC, and you would have sold your whole Hex position, right? Okay, that's a quick overview of it. It can be a little bit complicated, so yeah. Richard says the fudders says give the fudders no air. Yeah. Now there are community members like that Crypto Weekly review show as well. I watch them every now and then. We should technically not be giving them any views, but Funding Jim is actually promoting the dude. He's very, very bearish on Hex, and I mean, he keeps on fighting the SVC news and stuff as well, but people still keep on watching it. And now I'm telling you guys about him, right? So there's a lot of conflict of interest going on. And Corey Coin Investor actually giving, what's his name, Eric Wall airtime. Like doing interviews with him. That's one of his most popular interviews is with Eric Wall, and I've actually also watched it. But then again, I don't know. It's max FUD at the bottom of the market. That's probably what you would expect right now, right? I saw RG3 mentioning on a stream last night. V3 was seen in Poly. So Uniswap V3. I mean, you can copy the front end, like, what's it called? This is Hedron's front end, like uniswap.hedron.pro, and you can actually connect to other chains here. I can change my MetaMask to Ethereum W mainnet, and it works on here, right? You can see ETH W, Hedron, X. Just doesn't have the symbols now. So you can have a different front end. You're just not allowed to use to fork the code, right, and implement changes to the fork. So the code is locked currently. You can't fork the code. It's copyrighted. But until the agreement finishes, you can then fork the code and change it. All he is doing is just pointing V3, Uniswap's V3 to another chain, which is obviously legal. It's not making any changes. It's not stealing any of the liquidity. Invalid pair. This used to work. I haven't played with this in a while. No liquidity data available. So I'm not sure if it's still working, but either way, or something like that, I don't know. Yeah. So as soon as I think it expires in May of next year, you can actually fork it and make changes to the code. Implement your own liquidity farming and things. Change the rewards, etc. Right? But until then, you can't make changes. But I could be wrong. I am not the expert in DeFi code, right? So let's quickly see if the 2-year has changed yet. So yeah, I'm not gonna keep you guys any longer. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something. It's just a matter of time before the bear market ends. These 4-year cycles repeat religiously, and I don't think it's gonna end anytime soon, right? So smash like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember, always play from a position of strength. Keep your keys in your own wallets and don't get wrecked, right? Cheers and bye-bye.